Again, Governor Walsh yesterday, when he was talking, he talked about those Republicans who he respected. And so he's not just doing this, all Republicans are crazy. I think it's this thing about service, isn't it? Being in service of something bigger than yourself and putting a country first rather than yourself or a party. And that's something we want to see over here in the UK. What are your thoughts?
Right. One of the things that I think is challenging about what Keir Starmer has done with the Labour Party here is the level of dissent about policy, which is quite reasonable dissent in the Labour Party that Starmer and his close allies really try and shut down. So there's a question about how do you not have a political process that is constantly reactionary against these and against that, but actually it opens up the dialogue that we need to have about what really matters and who does it matter to and who are we in service to? How are we in service to?
What it makes me think of is the law of the inner ring that I sometimes talk about. C.S. Lewis, who said the law of the inner ring can make a man who is not yet a very bad man do very bad things. And that desire to be at the top, in the inner circle, making the decisions. And after a while, if you're not careful, you can start to get that bunker mentality. Oh, those outside won't understand. Those who aren't in government won't appreciate why we have to do this.
Right.
And they convince themselves we have to behave like this and maintain this centre. And that centre means that you just don't hear any dissenting voices. And I think to really understand that, both personally and as a group, and when you do get your group together, the people that you've needed to pull together in order to get to that place where you are now, where the Labour Party is, how can you still not become a cabal and allow those dissenting voices in? And I remember I was doing some work with the Cabinet Office, which was for a very large group of chief execs, and I'd done a set of slides where I talked about the democracy and all these problems that we were seeing in cronyism. And one of the commissioners said, you can talk about it, but please don't put it on the slides. In other words, they didn't want it to be in print anywhere. So as a group commissioned by the Cabinet Office, we were talking about democracy and cronyism, which I thought was quite funny. But it's as much a danger for the Labour Party as it was for the last government.